My name is Johan, I'm 26 years old. I came to Los Angeles about 2 years ago to study film production. One thing that really stands out to me when I'm walking on campus is that I see girls skateboarding around. That really surprised me because I watched a lot of Hollywood movies growing up, which a lot of movies that has girls on the bikes and boys on the skateboards. I also grew up in a family that believes girls should be careful, elegant, and sweet. Clearly, skateboarding is not really close to any of those images. So I have grown to believe that girls don't skate. But I was really happy to discover that girls do skate around campus. And I decided to buy myself my first ever skateboard at age 25. At the beginning, I was really afraid that people see me because clearly I started way later than a lot of people, and I was worried I'm gonna embarrass myself on the street. So I found myself a relatively empty parking lot, and I started going there maybe at least twice or a third time a week. Once I get more comfortable and get used to like going straight and being on top of skateboard, I begin to wonder what it's like to be a girl in the skateboarding culture. And I kind of wonder what they feel about being the fewer people within the culture, or how they think about all those Hollywood movies that portray those girls in a certain way.
My name is Annie. I was born and raised in Taiwan and came to the US when I was 12. I've been here for 10 years now.
My name is Tara. I'm 24. I'm turning 25. I've been dancing my whole life, drawing my whole life. My parents are both artists and really creative people. And I've also been very active. Like, dancing is a huge part of my life, but I've also been skateboarding, rollerblading, bicycling, all kinds of stuff forever. I used to do gymnastics too.
My name's Sammy. I'm 18. I graduated high school a little bit early at 17, so I've been in a gap year for a little bit now. It's been about 8 months. I skateboard, I draw. I'm probably the nerdiest person you'll probably ever meet.
I started skating a while ago when I was in high school. It was something that I was curious about. I didn't know much about skating. I have no experience, but I know a lot of my guy friend does it. And I thought that, oh, why don't I just try it myself? You know, I have a skateboard in my garage. And so one day I started doing it and try to balance myself on the board. And I find that I really enjoy it.
I got my first skateboard when I was like 11. This lady, Nicole Montez, she runs Silver Skate Shop in Albuquerque, New Mexico. She built me my first board and was super nice to me, super supportive. I was like one of the only female skaters. I was the only girl skater that I really knew of back then, so.
This one here is my first skateboard. My dad got it for me when I was like 10. It's Sector 9. It's seen a lot. It got ran over by a car. When I was in like sophomore year of high school, I got it out of storage and re-gripped it and like cleaned it up a little bit and then started riding it. And then I got this one. It's Arbor, one of my favorite brands. I like researched it. Pocket rockets are my favorite size because they're smaller but not too small. I used to use this one in middle school to do tricks on, one of many, but this was the last one I used to do tricks on. Underneath here is a dirt devil thing. So like when it hits the sidewalk, when I I'm putting pressure on it, it'll like make sparks. It's pretty fun. And yeah, that was my last one. I started skating when I was 10. My upstairs neighbor taught me. I had a big crush on him and I thought he was so cool for skateboarding. And that's kind of why I like skateboarding, because it's cool and it's easy to get around.
I've like learned how to Ollie a few times, and I've skated in half pipes a few times, but I was always having to be taught by boys who usually wanted to get into my pants. So like it was, I think it definitely had like, how would I say, like an expectation to it. When you go to the skate park, it's, if not 100% boys, it's 90% boys. There's definitely more girls today, I've noticed, at skate parks, but back when I was learning, I was always the only one. And I mean, there would be girls at the skate parks, but none of them would be skating. They would just be dating the guys or watching them and like giggling and just being bad at the skate park, and there wouldn't be any girls learning.
LA, it's huge. Everybody skateboards at least a little bit, I guess. Most of my friends do anyways. And I work in Santa Monica, so I'm like a block or two from the skate park. And so many skaters come in, and it's just like a good community, you know, when you're down in Santa Monica. There's probably a good amount of people skating compared to the people walking. It's pretty normal there. I noticed that in movies, all guys like will have skateboards or guitars in their rooms, and it's just very casual, and apparently all guys know how to skateboard in this reality. And then when a girl is portrayed as a skater in a movie, she's like rebellious, and it's different.
I think there's the notion of skateboarding is masculine, it's cool, and so it kind of gives off for anybody who skateboard, especially if it's girls who skateboard, they may be a little bit more tomboy. It's when I was at UCLA, you see a lot of, you don't see that many female skaters, but when I see some of them, I'm happy to see them. It made me feel like I'm not alone, and it made me feel like, oh, I could do it more because there's other people out there like me who also does it.
When I was in 6th or 7th grade, I met a group of skater guys in my new middle school, and we used to go skating together a lot, and we just like meet up at like 8 or 9 o'clock at night, just like skateboard, find cool spots, like jump over. And I wasn't so good at it, but it was still pretty fun to try, and they'd like teach me, or I'd look things up on YouTube and practice on my own. And then my best friend Spencer, his dad really loved skateboarding, and we all loved it, so he would take us to skate parks on weekends. I just remember going to skate parks, and me and my friend, we were kind of we're beginners, and we'd skateboard together, and they'd treat him like he was cool, and he knew what was going on, even though I knew more than him, and I was skating longer, and they just treat me like crap, or they just kind of make fun of me or patronize me. And sometimes still to this day, if I'm like skating down the street, like some guy in a car will stop and be like, hey, can you do an Ollie for me? I'm like, yo, if you know anything about skateboarding, I have a cruiser, and I'm not gonna do a trick for you, you asshole. Pardon my French.
This is my little Harry Potter closet. That's what I call it. That's great. Yeah. I've somehow fit all of my stuff in here. Not sure how I did it. I have a lot of stuff. This is my altar. These are kind of both, but this is my altar thing. I usually skate by myself. It's really liberating, I think, just like feeling the wind on your whole body and moving with the board. I really like kind of doing like the snake shape while I skate down a street, or if you're going down a hill just really fast and the wind's flying through you. It's extremely exhilarating and liberating. It kind of makes me feel like nobody can touch me, and obviously I can. I'm just on a skateboard. Like if somebody hit me with their car, that would suck really bad.
Being in this country on my own, you get to have to deal with a lot of situations by yourself. And so like what to eat, you know, that's an important decision. I think in Taiwan, extracurricular is not something that was very valued. You know, you go to school, you go home, you go to more school, repeat. I think the nature of what American education provides here, it just gives me more choices. Simply that, choices. We don't get a lot of that in Taiwan. Even if I'm a girl here, I'm not expected to be ladylike all the time. I'm not expected to dress a certain way. In fact, I think I'm encouraged to show different parts of myself that is not necessarily traditional. Western culture is very independent. They really value self-sufficiency. I love the fact that I am able to make a lot of choices on my own. I probably feel the need to fulfill my parents' dreams and expectations that they have for me, and it's a way to honor them and to respect them, and so in that sense, I felt the need to kind of sacrifice what my real passion.
Take two.
I think that the lack of representation in movies and media of female skaters who aren't gay or tomboys is really damaging. I think that it makes little girls think that they have to be a certain way if they're gonna have skateboards, and it just makes people in general identify skateboarding as a very masculine. And I think if there was more representation of every kind of girl riding skateboards, it would be more normal and more little girls would grow up thinking that that was something that they could do.
People always point it out when really I think it should be more of a normal thing. I mean, it's just skateboarding. When you see a girl biking down the street, you're not like, wow, it's so cool, you're biking. It's important that more girls skateboard and not make it such a big deal, and I think it's really good that I do have a lot of girls in my life that skateboard, and I see way more girls skating nowadays, which is very important and, you know, touches my heart.
I still don't know what is female skateboarding culture, or if there is one. What I have learned is that skateboarding is for everyone. All the girls I have met have different personalities and different styles, but they share one thing: they like skating. And I believe there's more girls like them out there. I have waited for so long to understand that you don't have to believe what people tell you can do. Even though I can only go straight and barely do any basic tricks or do a turn, I'm really happy I finally tried. Girls can skate, and all girls should have a chance to try.